So this is what we do after an investigation.
Oh.
After a near possession.
Beverage time.
Together.
It's going to be our little mascot.
It was actually filming where it was, and I could see a black shadow look like it come between them.
This is our mascot, Ziggy Poo. He's our little mascot now. He's just eating a mouse.
Yeah.
So he's very proud of himself.
Yeah.
He's just found and eaten a mouse.
So it's the spirit of a mouse walking past.
Yeah. We heard a squeak and then we heard him chomping, so we're presuming it's some sort of small rodent. Oh,
Watch the fire, Zig.
Off into the fire he goes.
That's it, camera shy. He's gone now.
Where are you going? You curling up? One there.
We've got a nice little bit of mead here. How's everyone's mead?
Oh,
Going down well?
Yeah. Mead needs fire.
Mead needs fire.
All good witches know mead needs fire.
It's just mountain climbing.
What's he doing now?
He's off.
Where is he actually going?
He's on that.
On his bike. He's off.
He's looking for his manky water ball that we threw away. Because it had things growing in it.
You're going to hurt yourself. Get down.
We're going to do some digging in a
It's
minute.
like digging me more, didn't it?
Digging.
It's like, hello, Papa. I dig up.
Oh, he's French, by the way, in case you were wondering what the papa's about.
He is a coquille poo.
He's a French cockapoo. This is Jay trying to break a piece of wood.
I'm going a bit wham. Shut back a bit.
Bloody hell, what's on that?
Oh.
The casting wheels.
Oh.
It's like sod it. It'll be right.
If in doubt, put it on.
I thought it was if in doubt, leave it out, but whatever.
It's all due for the first time.
First fire in 2021.
It's due. Oh, yeah, I'm on fire this year.
This will have to be it now for every investigation. Fire.
Sounds good, that. Yeah, definitely gonna have to get some more wood.
As you're looking at it.
It always shocks me when I see things because I don't see as clearly as you. So when I see it, it always sort of, oh, I can actually see that.
You walked past the back of the bench twice. And then when I saw it keep forming at the side, but I was only seeing like partial.
Yeah.
It weren't fully.
I saw it as like a ball. It just kind of came down the side of the bench, then back up again.
Interesting to see if we've got any EVPs as well.
Or see if we got it on film. One of the cameras must have picked it up.
Well, the good thing is it was actually quiet this time and it wasn't windy.
Yeah, so the EVP will have...
I think it's still behind you.
Yeah, it's behind you.
You hear the bang inside though?
Yeah, I did. That's what I was saying before, there's nothing followed us back, is there?
No.
Nothing that wasn't already.
Yeah, exactly. No, nothing followed us back.
Wind chimes went the other day when I was here on my own.
Yeah, we think that's your dad, don't we?
Mine doesn't happen like on demand, if you will. I don't have a choice. It's like, well, do you see him at work? I said, yeah, all the time. But I ignore it because I'm working.
Yeah, you have to learn to kind of shut it off.
It's not to say I don't see it. Well, sometimes I do take them off because it intrigues me and I'm interested. But at the same time, if I'm working, I've got to work. I said, especially down the corridor at the old part of the hospital, I said, they're constantly flying at me and stuff. I have to block it out, otherwise I won't get any work done.
I think in the same breath though, they understand when there are times that you don't want them around. Like when you're on the loo or things like that. You don't need them about at those moments and they won't appear at those moments because much like you wouldn't walk in on someone while they're on the loo. So why would a spirit do it?
The worst place in the hospital is we take all the rubbish down to level 0 where the entrance to the mortuary is. to come outside to the where we put the van. And I said the worst one is when you see them round there because they're just wandering. Like
They're
some of
quite
them
lost.
don't realise that they've passed and they're just wandering around the corridors.
Mm.
And sometimes I interact with them ones because I tell them that they've passed kind of thing and just.
No time to move on, kind of thing.
I can't help myself. I can't stand it when they're just looking around like lost sheep kind of thing and they don't know what's happened.
It can't be nice seeing them like that.
You literally see them wandering about and they're like, you can tell they're just looking around like they're looking for directions, like they just don't know where they are.
The worst ones are the ones that don't realise they've passed.
Yeah, that's
And
it.
you've not only got to explain to them, I'm sorry, but you've passed, but you also need to move on. Like ones that have been shocked out the bodies are the worst, like road accident victims and people, but it's happened so suddenly that they don't realise. They're heartbreaking, and you have to explain to them, oh, this is it, I'm sorry.
Mm.
And then I think you get ones that are shocked, that have been around a long time, that are shocked that you can see them. And they kind of edge forward like, are you actually looking at me, or am I imagining this? And then they get excited, which is when we got Edna. Is it Edna? Enid? I can't remember her name. Enid. Aki. She was just that excited that she wouldn't let go of the EMF. She was that happy that we could see her. And I couldn't get a straight answer out of her because she was so excited, she just would not let go.
I think that's why when you see a lot of like shadow apparitions and stuff, they just peek round corners because they're not sure.
That's why they do it.
You think of it, it's like, I suppose it's the same for them as it is for us seeing them. It's like the reverse. It's like, what's to say when you die? Like,
You
looking
can
for
see.
live people is the same as looking for dead people. Just in reverse. It could be a live hunter instead of a ghost hunter.
And what's not to say they're afraid? When people, when you see, like, kids popping around corners.
Oh yeah.
If I was like a 5-year-old and I had 3 grown-ass people coming at me,
Yeah.
I'd be the same. I'd hide and, like, try and work out what they're doing and where they are. I think that's part of what they do.
No, I often think that.
Quite funny because even though I'm so big and stuff, I get approached by a lot of young children's spirits. Like that Alice, she came up and just tugged on the back of my leg and said a name to me, and then I turned round and it said Alice on that
Grave.
grave.
She's
I was
just
literally
7.
looking the other direction.
So that bit that really scared me, which was I'd never seen Jay in that kind of situation before. I mean, can you remember, like,
I can remember before and after kind of thing, but
during? You can't.
during it just kind of. It's weird. It's kind of. It's almost like you're dreaming kind of thing. It's like you're there, but you're not there. If that makes sense. You're not in control, but you're kind of subconsciously aware that something's going on.
Like you're not in control, sort of thing.
It's weird. It's like to some degree you kind of black out, but then again you kind of come in and out of it almost like out of body. Like you're aware something's going on, but at the same time you can't control it. Almost like a dream, like you're dreaming you're doing something, but you don't have any control over it. But yet you know it is you that's doing it. It's hard to explain, and then I think before you just kind of feel. You just kind of feel like, I don't know, you just feel a rush of, I suppose, like energy absorbing into you kind of thing, soaking in. So I knew something was happening when I started getting all tearful and my eyes started streaming.
Well, I got tearful when I saw you in that state. But I know, obviously, you were like that. Kind of that was going up to it, wasn't it?
As soon as I started latching onto the feelings and like getting emotional, I knew it was getting to something that was escalating. It was grabbing onto me emotions deeper than what just a case of communicating. It wanted to actually take control. It's and then when you come out of it, you kind of just feel. I suppose it's like just like you've woken up from sleeping kind of thing. It's just kind of a bit of a shock at first, and then just hits you like all the. You kind of feel all the aftermath, like all the energy that's been sucked out of you, so to speak, to doom. It's like you just feel, but at the same time you feel like, well, it's kind of energising in a way, because you feel like a bit of a kick from it, almost like an adrenaline buzz.
Yeah, because when we came out of when we actually got out and we were stood at the car, you were like, you actually feel like you're, what was it? I can't remember the word you said, but it was like
gym.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, you said like you'd been at the gym.
It is. You just feel kind of like, I don't know. It's like you click back in, and it's almost like a buzz of energy, like you've got control again. So it's like a buzz of like, I don't know, it's hard to explain really, but it is like that feeling like you get when you've been at the gym and you just get that buzz and that adrenaline feeling afterwards, when something's like you're aching, but at the same time you feel revived and re-energised. It's weird. It is a hard thing.
Because it's happened before when you were, was it Botany Bay?
Yeah, Botany Bay last time it properly happened. It's happened since then, probably more times than what I realised, to be fair, but Botany Bay was the last one where it happened on a ghost investigation, so to speak. And I didn't even see that. I told them I didn't want to see it, to be fair, at the time. But apparently I started having full-blown conversations, and I was possessed by the spirit of a chap who used to work in the old penny arcade in Botany Bay. And apparently I was asking people for threepence and old shillings.
Oh, the old style money.
Asking them to change
metric.
it. It's like, I was like, they were telling me, and I was like, I haven't got a clue what you're on about.
How'd you do in the 21st century?
I was like, well, yeah, you're going around asking if we wanted change for such and such thing. I was like, well, I wouldn't even know to ask for that in general, never mind bloody. It's just weird. I think that was one of the first proper times it had happened, like in front of people, and I kind of just felt like I blacked out and then came back round, kind of thing, like I'd fainted, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But apparently it lasted for about, I think it's 15-20 minutes or something, so it was quite a while.
Jesus.
It was quite a while that I was under that time.
Scary thing is, tonight, if we hadn't have had Vicky, I was saying when I did, if it had just been me and you, me and Jay, I'd have been absolutely terrified.
Like I say, I can snap myself out of it, but it does take a while. It does take a while.
Whatever it was that was trying to get in wasn't pleasant, and that's why I wouldn't let it, because it was just the feel of it was. I always find energies like that feel sticky, so I won't gonna let it have you. No way.
It's like tonight. It felt like it was almost like, I don't know, but the feeling I got before was almost like two different entities. One
like
was just a spirit, and one was something a lot more overpowering. I almost feel like it was the spirit first, and then whatever else was coming in was trying to overpower and take control off. I don't think necessarily whatever was doing it initially was all that bad, to be fair. I think it was just...
No, the first one seemed just to be kind of pushing through, but whatever it was after was getting a bit rough, and I wasn't having that.
That's it. It seemed to get a lot stronger and it escalated. Especially the energy that was flickering about through the cemetery at the time. There was somewhat a lot stronger than just a noble spirit that was giving off energy. Yeah. It's weird. It's not something I normally allow, to be fair. I've had it before when they've tried and I've stopped them. But it's...
I suppose because we tried that experiment with both of us, both energies together. I suppose that enabled.
Well, it's as soon as you bloody held hands. That's why I said I'm going to be watching you both. We're holding hands again.
That's why I think I felt a bit more like able to release myself as such.
But I was
So I'm very.
I was
open.
so fucking scared. I genuinely was, and I was actually crying. Because I was so scared.
I can open myself up, but the thing I worry about is if someone gets hold of me that can obviously manipulate my body, and with my size and stuff, I don't want to start lashing out or anything like that.
Yeah.
Because it just worries me if someone gets control that can actually power me to that extent.
That's why I didn't want that to happen. So from your perspective, what did you see? How did he appear to you?
Well, as in the video, really. Because I was watching pretty much through the camera, but it just looked in distress and like he was just not himself at all, and that's what really, really scared me, because I thought he was getting full on possessed.
It's difficult because I'm so open, and I do let them communicate quite openly with me, but at the same time it's like, even when it doesn't seem like I'm in control, I am in control.
Yeah, well that's what I need to understand.
Yeah.
My problem is it's the same reason I gave up doing it years ago when I stopped, is because I'll go in on my own. I do things like that on my own in a room in the dark. And that's when I realised, well, hold on a minute, it's getting a bit dangerous, because if something happens and I can't bring myself back,
Yeah, this is it.
I need someone to have my back, and someone that understands me, someone who I can trust.
I mean, as far as how does possession work?
So usually it often happens from behind the person, and it is like astral projection where your spirit comes out of your body to the front. They kind of push in from the back and take over certain senses. So sometimes they will just want to use your voice and speak, which is where often voices will change. And that first chap that came through for Jay was just trying to use his voice, which is where
that's what he did. It came in my mouth.
Through your voice box. So that was like trying to speak.
That's when you could taste the tobacco, was it?
Yeah, so he was like trying to talk through him. But the other one wanted full control. And that is where you have run the danger of becoming a full possession.
I remember the feeling of something stronger coming in and me trying to fight back with it. It was almost like I know there was a big clash at one point where I tried to fight myself out of it because I felt something really powerful come flooding in.
But it came up from behind you because I could see the black.
Well, because I was already dealing with one that was coming through subtly, and then this was kind of rushed in, I was like,
But it often starts off like very slowly, and they'll just use your voice, and then they start to take control of limbs. They will start to see through your eyes, and it does put the actual person that it's their body almost on a back burner.
Yeah.
So it's like trying to get that person to come back forward and fight forward. I mean, in my training, what I do is I push them back. I will tend to go in with white light and push whatever entity it is back out the back of them.
Which is what you did with Jay.
Yeah, that's why my hand went on his chest to push it out. I work a lot with angels, so I tend to use angel light, but people use different kind of energies, different kinds of spirit lights. But that one I forced out the back, that's how possessions work, and that's how exorcisms work, is that people do it in the name of whatever God they believe in. They have to trust in a faith that is strong enough to push them out.
Yeah.
And Jay is so strong as well that he has his own strength of character that will help with that and fight it off himself. I think once he knew I was there and trying to help, he did a lot of it himself. It just needed that initial kick of saying, you're not having full control, you're not going to be lashing out. But that's why I wouldn't let him let go of my hand either, because while that energy connection's there's still my energy as well to contend with.
Yeah.
So as soon as you break that connection, that's where the problem lies.